Yes. Happy Friday, Wonder Fanatics. Good morning. It's, you guessed it, Friday, February 22nd, last day of the month. That flew by. Not really. No, I felt every day painfully. It's like I was being dragged across broken glass until, of course, Jimmy Butler became a Warrior. Then that month flew by like that. Yes, it did. Good morning. Here we go. This is the Wunderfan Show. I, of course, am your host, Henry Markin. The show, of course, is sponsored by the Wunderfan app. You guessed it. Wunderfan, the best sports fan rewards app out there. There are so many ways you can earn on Wunderfan. You can go to games. You can be at certain universities. When we do campus takeovers, you can earn by scrolling. Yes, swiping away, scrolling, consuming content. No company has ever paid you to consume social media content for the history of forever. It's just been this free deal where you give them your soul and they give you memes. Not anymore. We're going to take your soul for a little bit. We're going to borrow it. But you're getting paid for it, right? You're still, we're still taking your screen time, of course, right? Let's not get that out of the, all right, where you're still going to be on your phone. If you want to go outside and put the phone down, go for it. But while you're scrolling, while you're blessing everyone with your eyeballs and your screen time, you might as well earn for it. You might as well get paid to do so. You can on Wunderfan. Hope I didn't make that sound really dark. Everyone else, they don't care to pay you. We will, because we're nice like that. Okay, another way you could earn, and this is coming out very soon, it is our legendary Watch to Earn feature. I can only talk about the brush strokes of it, right? The little the seasonings. I can't mention the secret sauce yet, but I can just tell you pretty soon you will be using Wunderfan, because if you don't, you're leaving so much money on the table just by watching sports. Soon you should be able to earn just by watching the game from your house. Not even going anywhere. Just, you want to tune in, you can earn. That's it. And of course, check our contest page. Took me a second there. Check our contest page. There's a ton of awesome contests we have every single day, including our weekly $1,000 giveaway. We're giving away $1,000 every single week. It's not a bit. Not kidding you. No strings, no BS. We're just giving away money every single week. It's a raffle. You can enter as many times as you want. Go to the contest page on Wunderfan, on the Wunderfan app. Find our raffle giveaway. Enter as many times as you want, like I just said. And who knows? You might just win. We gave away cash this week to a lucky winner in Mountain Brook, Alabama. That was pretty cool. They were watching the show when I do that, because I reveal on Mondays. I reveal on Mondays who wins. And they were watching on Monday, saw somebody won. The classmate that saw the show ran into the school, excuse me, I'm botching the story. One of our viewers was a high school student at this high school in Alabama, Mountain Brook High School. And they saw the show where I announced the winner. I believe her name was Mary Claire Kompakis, right? And she won. I announced it. We were going to email her, DM her, whatever. And then the kid who was watching our show live at the same school busted into her classroom and said, I hate to interrupt. She just won $1,000 and stopped the class. The whole class broke out into cheers. It was like a standing ovation for winning the raffle. Then they played the video, saw me say it. Congratulations. Sorry, I butchered your name, right? And she won. That's it. It was one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of. That's all you can hope for when you do these contest giveaways, that when you reveal who wins, that they're just as excited as you are to give it away, if not more excited. So that was awesome. But yeah, reminder, every Monday, it's real. We're giving away $1,000. Tune in here, 11 a.m. Pacific time, because that's when I like to go on. And who knows? Your name might just get called. You can enter as many times as you want. Why not? All right, that's all I'm going to mention about that. This is kind of I say this every week because it's going to be a big week in sports pretty much until the summer. every week something happens in sports. That's just how it works. Until it's just baseball and the beach, there's going to be something interesting. Unless, of course, COVID happens and everything, shuts down, then yeah, there's nothing interesting about that. But for now, with no COVID or bird flu or anything that's appearing to be shutting things down, sports are happening. Therefore, something new happens every week, which is worthy of discussion. And this week was no different. All right, let's start at the very obvious. The NBA, the Warriors. Dubs have won 5 in a row. Steph Curry dropped 56 points off of 12 threes against the Magic last night. He was getting MVP chance on the road. Listen, I said this a couple weeks ago, and I'll say it again. But now that I have your attention, the Warriors will win the West. Now that I have your attention, now that you know what I guess saw coming, now that you know that the floor is open for Steph, now that you know that he's back, he never left. He's just not getting triple teamed anymore. I think you can kind of safely assume that this isn't going to stop because it won't stop. Have you bothered to check out the Warriors' March schedule? It's a heist. A heist. And not even a stressful heist, like where it's like, oh, we could get caught. It's a joke. It's ready for this? It's stealing from a bank that, quite frankly, is like, yeah, take it. There's no way that March isn't like an incredibly successful heist. It's a bank run. It's literally theft. What the Warriors are about to do in the month of March, you're going to watch them soar through the standings, soar through it. So today, last day of February, and by the way, the Warriors have a 5-game win streak. They are currently the 7th seed. Keep in mind that there are 4 teams with the record of either 32-26 or 32-27 or 32-28. Hell, even the Kings are 30-28. So we'll call it 5 teams with a separation of maybe a half or 1 game. That's seeds 6 through 10. Those 5 teams are all in there. They all fold in either tied or half a game apart, right? But the separation is literally 1 game between 5 teams. 5 teams, 5 seeds, 1 game separation. The Warriors won 5 in a row to get to the 7. I think the Warriors could end up by the end of March. This is not an overstatement. The Warriors could easily have the 3 seed by the end of March. Let me enlighten you who they are playing. The Warriors have 15 games in the month of March. 15 games. 9 of those games are against teams that are below 500. Let me read you who the Warriors are to face in the next 3 to 4 weeks. The month of March begins as such. Saturday, tomorrow, they open up their treacherous, their incredibly scary, their daunting schedule. This gauntlet of a schedule begins in Philadelphia, who is currently on a 9-game losing streak. Then they go to Charlotte, who they just beat by 40, who's also won 2 games this month. And then, of course, they go to New York to play the Knicks, who hasn't really played anybody well as of late. The Knicks, let's see, are merchants of beating really mediocre teams, but when it comes time to play a team that actually has a chance, they fold like lawn chairs. Just fold. Then they go to Brooklyn. I thought the Brooklyn Nets were tanking. I guess they're still trying to play. Doesn't matter. Then they face Detroit. 8-game win streak. This is like the first team that's like actually, I would say above average. They've won 8 games in a row. Before they won 8 games in a row, they were still just the mediocre Detroit Pistons, right? Then they go to Portland. Portland, not very good. Then they play Sacramento. All right. I guess it's another potential playoff team. Then you play the Knicks again at home. And you play Denver. That's like your only real challenge in the whole month. March 17th, Denver. Then you play Milwaukee, who they just beat a couple weeks ago. Then you play Toronto, Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans, San Antonio. All final 5 of those games, not a single record above 500. Toronto, Atlanta, Miami, New Orleans, San Antonio. All below 500 teams. That's March 22nd through the 30th. Like, there could be multiple win streaks in this month of 5 or 6 games. Multiple. Yeah. Listen, close your eyes and it's March 30th and the Warriors could have the 3 seed. I don't think they're going to get the 2 seed because that's just like foolishly optimistic, but very reasonable thing to say. 4 or 5 seed, 3 seed's probably a reach. Yeah, I'll restate that. Close your eyes. It's March 30th. The Golden State Warriors have the 4 seed. And then it's just a race of how do you close out the year? What do you do in April? You got what is it? 9 games in April? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in April. Can you just split the 8 games in April? Yeah, probably can. And then who knows? You're playing a 5 seed in the playoffs. 2 weeks ago, the Warriors were like amidst a nuclear meltdown. Their NBA Finals odds 2 weeks ago were plus 10,000. If you're unfamiliar with how odds work, I have odds of things that can happen in my life today. For example, I think the odds of a car crashing into my living room are probably plus 25,000, right? So pretty slim. I think me falling off my bike on a bike ride, and I'm not clumsy. I'm just saying because, like life happens. We'll put the odds at like plus 8,000, right? And then there's the Warriors that are trying to win the finals. I totally butchered that, but you get my point. Plus 10,000. Now it's plus 2,200 to win the finals. And it's probably going to shrink even more. Steph Curry's averaging over 30 points in these games with Jimmy Butler because he's no longer wearing a straitjacket. He's not being guarded at half court by the whole team, 2 off-duty cops, a couple of bouncers from local bars, and I don't know, the mascot, a couple of peanuts concessions guy, the hot dog guy, the soda machine guy, the head of security, Big Dom from Philly. You can't throw the kitchen sink at him anymore. You have to put the guy who's supposed to guard Steph Curry to guard Steph Curry. And then what happens? You have Kentavious Caldwell-Pope who gets, I don't know, belt to ass. 56 points get dropped on him. He doesn't score a single bucket. It's like worse than babysitting toddlers. Except I'm sure, you get paid. Well, you get paid a little bit more to guard Steph Curry than, babysitting toddlers, but you still get verbally abused like that, right? Steph just abused him. Steph treated him like a toy. But yeah, no, it's a heist. It's like, get to know this Warriors team because they're gonna make a run. March is gonna be a heist. A heist. Like 9 of the 15 games they play are against teams that are well below 500. Not even like below 500, like well below 500. Like they have like 3 or 4 games in a row. They're playing teams that are like contemplating a tank. That's great. That is just good news. Because you could look at March where it's like, well, we've already won 13 games. We could probably sit Curry for a game or two, kind of get him rested for April. Yeah, you really could. Oh, it's just so awesome. It's just such a different oxygen in the Bay Area right now because you were going to have a really tough conversation with the rest of your team regarding Curry because I think he knows he can't do this for much longer. And all of these amazing games that he goes off would just go to waste if they lose. Now, all of a sudden, you got Kuminga coming back in a week. You got Jimmy Butler, who, has said this is like the best team he's ever played for. Warriors are going to win the West. Now that I have your attention, they'll win the finals too. I mean, once you win the West, you're in the finals. It's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore what seed you were, what your team looked like in October. You got Steph Curry in the finals. I mean, sure, yeah, I guess we could say, well, Cleveland's really good or Boston's really good, but they don't have Steph Curry on their team. Just saying. That's all I'm gonna talk about that. Okay, let's talk just while we're talking about the NBA. My guy Nikola Jokic. I guess I've spent so much time watching him. Obviously, a lot of the stuff that I do comedically on social media about him, that's all about how good he is as a scorer, as a player, and the comedy sort of comes into like it's he's so good, but his demeanor it makes it look like he doesn't care. I know he cares. I wanted to get that clear. I know an NBA player cares about basketball. I'm not an airhead. It's not a surprise to me that he actually cares. He actually puts in hours of work. This isn't news to me. But there is an element after watching him play defense because I've never watched him on defense. Or I guess I have, but like I don't analyze his defensive game. But you could make an argument that he doesn't care about playing defense. In fact, I'm not going to say that he doesn't care, but there are definitely plays that he literally just says, all right, you can have it. Does he care? Perhaps. Maybe he's saving his energy. But man, I just got a new joke. Jokic on defense is just me in the copy room. Like, oh, the copier is broken. Okay, spit out whatever you want. Like multiple times he was like, oh, I don't care. Yeah, go to the rack. I'll figure it out on the other end. I will cross that bridge when we get there. We'll circle back in a week. I don't just send me an email. This could have been email. Like he he cares a lot about the game of basketball. I am sure of that, but I think there is an element that sometimes it's a drag. I think you can't deny that anymore. I think sometimes it is a drag. I mean, I watched multiple times in the Bucks Nuggets game on prime time. By the way, these are two great teams. This could be a potential finals matchup. If things work out the way that both those teams intend, that is an NBA finals matchup for this year. Maybe. If Dame heats up and Giannis is just Giannis, yeah, there's not a lot you can do to defend that. And of course, if the Nuggets just roll through everybody, including the Warriors, that's a real potential matchup. Jokic, he was like, "Yeah, I'll phone it in. I don't care." But like, that was real. That was real last night. There's no denying that. Okay, let's talk NFL. First of all, how do I put this without sounding like a complete casual? Okay. Let me just before I go on this, I let the record show I'm not a casual. I try not to be. I mean, I spend so much time watching sports. I'd like to think I'm a knowledgeable ball knower, right? I'd like to think my ball knowledge is relatively astute and up to date, right? It's pretty sharp. But I had this thought, and if it's a horrible thought, let me know. But picture a guy in the NFL draft, like, I don't know, Abdul Carter for Penn State, right? He's probably could be the number one pick, but there's a couple little red flags surrounding a specific injury, and it's putting his number one pick projection in jeopardy, right? I was looking at the teams that have the top 3 to 4 picks. It's not very pleasant, right? It's about as pleasant as getting hemorrhoids. It's pretty rough. Let me read them to you. NFL draft, NFL mock draft. I thought I was prepared. I thought I had the tab open. I didn't. So, the number one pick in the draft. Wait. Yeah. Okay. That's a trade. So, the Titans have the number one pick. Browns have the number 2. Giants have the number 3. Patriots have the number 4. Jaguars have number 5. Granted, the Jaguars have a new coach, have kind of a new system, and so that could be just like a general rebuild. But Titans, Giants, Browns, those are three pitiful organizations. Pitiful. And not to mention, after the Jaguars, you get into the territory of Raiders, Jets, Panthers, Saints. Like, those are not good teams. So I had this question. If you're a really good prospect and you had a great college career, however long or short it was, right? Let's say you played a year or 2 years, you're like, no, you're really good. So you declare for the draft, right? Well, let's say you're projected to go number 2 or 3. That's where you're projected to go. You're like, okay, that's a lot of money I'll be making. I made a lot of money in college. You check the listing. You're like, Cleveland. Ooh, Cleveland. Now that I think about it, my shoulder is a little. Yeah. Jim, I don't know. My shoulder, it's a little tight. Like, do you think guys see where they're projected to go? And do you think sometimes they're like, I'm just going to phone in this combine, right? Do you think has that ever happened where they're like, yeah, I don't, because it's an honor to be drafted, right? And you're so taken by the moment. It's like you get drafted number 1. It's like, that's amazing. And I know you get paid a lot of money when those, early picks, it's a different pay bracket, right? Okay, remove that euphoria, right? Let's say you're 4 days removed from being drafted number 1 or number 2 or number 3 overall, right? And let's also say it's in this day and age where you've been making more money in college just for walking around campus, not only using the Wunderfan app, but also because you're an NIL merchant. I mean, the second you graduated high school, you've been making bands on bands on bands, right? So the idea that, if I'm drafted number 2 or number 3 overall, I'm going to make a shitload of money. That's not as appealing anymore because you've been making a shitload of money since you were 19 years old, right? More money than a lot of people can even dream right now, especially in this economy. Right? Well, do you think that some players see where they're ending up and are like, very privately, like, oh, that would suck. I think I'm just going to sit this one out. Or not even sit it out because, it's very obvious when it's like, you see where you line up, you're like, oh, I don't want to go there. I'm saying, do you think guys sometimes not throw it, but toss it? Toss the potential of getting selected higher because maybe they're like, the Jets, maybe I'd rather be a Niner at 11. You could go rot in New York and play on MetLife's artificial turf and probably have a nice 2 to 3 year career there. No playoffs, no bonus. You're getting paid. You're focusing on individual stats, be the best I can be, make the most money for what? I don't know. Maybe get traded, sign somewhere else. All right. Because you're in the league. Or is there a thought? Is there a concentrated thought that potentially, I think I could make more money for longer and more impactful, make more of an impact for longer, make more money, have more influence, be better, playing for a better team, getting picked up later in the draft. You mean to tell me if Cooper DeJean, I look at Cooper DeJean, right? I'm not saying he threw anything, but that's probably one of the more impactful rookies of all of last season, right? And think about how late the Eagles got him in. I mean, think about just how many guys went before him. And if you could redo this whole draft, where would Cooper DeJean go? I'm not just like calling him out because he's white. No, I'm saying this is a guy who had a pick 6 in the Super Bowl after a year of just being an absolute menace on defense. And he was like a corner from Iowa who went pretty late. And the Eagles got a steal for the Eagles, per usual. It seems like the Eagles, all they do is they just, oh, yeah. Like, Like the one time the Eagles botched the draft was the Justin Jefferson muff. That was ridiculous. And I think that was the same. The Eagles botched that. It was back to back where they could have gotten DK and Justin Jefferson, and they went Jalen Reagor and somebody else, right? Who are like both Uber drivers now. Not really, but you get my point. Maybe is there some truth to, I don't know. I'm probably not going to go as hard as I can on this 40 because I don't want, maybe it's a business decision. Maybe it's a business decision. I'm not going to, my hamstring, it could give out. I don't know. Probably shouldn't try it so hard. Also, because if I crush this, I'm definitely going to be a jet. I don't know. Hope I'm not sounding like a casual for this, but just I've had this thought all week. Okay, last thing I want to break down. This was huge, folks. Wow. Huge in the world of reporting and NFL media. There was a scuffle between two NFL reporters in Starbucks at the Combine. Man, cannot make this stuff up. Jordan Schultz of Fox and Ian Rappaport of NFL Network. They had a little bit of a skirmish in Starbucks in the draft combine area. Now, here's some facts that I did not know. Well, first, let me tell you what happened. So apparently, Jordan Schultz saw Rappaport and at the Starbucks and was like, we have some unfinished business. What's up? Talk to me. Like, why do you hate me? What's going on? Why are you doing X? Why are you doing Y? What's up with Z? And apparently Rappaport, the lights were too bright. And he was like, nope, I have nothing to say to you. I got nothing to say to you. Like, something was happening. Maybe Rappaport was dismissing him as a reporter. Maybe he was talking shit. And Schultz sees him and goes, what the heck? What's up? Or more like WTF for younger audiences. I don't want to say it. But apparently a lot of very violent language. F-bombs were dropped, right? Were used. Well, here's the interesting part about all this little skirmish. I didn't know this. It took this fight for me to realize. So Jordan Schultz is the son of former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz. And coincidentally, this took place at a Starbucks. So I'm not saying it was, I don't know the situation more than what I read online and sort of the reports I've been following about this, but it seems like it's a coincidence. I don't think Jordan Schultz was like coordinating an attack and he's like, okay, he goes to this Starbucks every day. Thank God Starbucks. Like if he was going to confront him about something, but then Rappaport walked in to say Pete's Coffee, I don't think Schultz would have been like, I gotta pull the troops back, right? I don't think that was on the cards. I think it was coincidence that they were both in Starbucks, and maybe Schultz felt like this is a home game, you know, and maybe there was just something in the air. He felt very comfortable in a Starbucks. After all, it was his father's company. Probably been to 1,000 Starbucks in his lifetime. He probably feels somewhat at home, right? Maybe it was the warm, delicious, nutritious aroma in the air of a sweet, relatively moderately priced latte, right? Maybe that just got him fired up. Some people get erotic over their coffee, right? Some people are so used to coffee that they're like, it's like a good morning, right? I don't know what it was. Whatever it was, Jordan Schultz smells blood and he attacks Rappaport. Is the story. Apparently, NFL security had to get involved to separate them because they were face to face, and it was pretty intense. I mean, from the reports are saying that Schultz was screaming F-bombs and like, are we gonna have a problem? And like, say this shit to my face, stuff like that, right? And apparently, it looked like Rappaport didn't want the smoke. Like he just folded. Okay, here's what's interesting about this whole thing. I actually have an opinion on both of these guys. I did not know Jordan Schultz was the son of former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz. I guess didn't put that together until like I read into this more and just read of the irony that it happened at Starbucks. I don't just assume people who have the same last name are related. Like I don't see Mike Williams and then think, oh, he must be related. I don't see like, oh yeah, the NFL player Mike Williams. Yeah, he must be related to the legendary composer John Williams, who also did Star Wars and Jurassic Park. Williams. Yeah, I mean, it's clear as day. They must be related. No, I don't think like that. I'm not. I can read into things a little bit more than just that. But, I assume there was, I guess never thought about it like that. But no, they are, Schultz is the same Schultz that was the former CEO of Starbucks, right? So I've had some interaction with Jordan Schultz over the years. He's commented on my stuff. I've commented on his stuff. I think he's great. I like his takes. I think he's funny. I think he's pretty smart. He's got himself into some pretty cool media projects. And he's at Fox with Cowherd. Cowherd brings him on. If they're talking about something, Cowherd doesn't, by the way, Colin Cowherd, he has to bring on people because they work at Fox and it's promoting, network stuff. I get that. But like, Cowherd is not throwing softball pitches. Like Cowherd is a great conversationalist, but he also like can easily sniff out like just fraud. Like Cowherd loves to just be right. And if you're wrong, he'll be more polite and say Stephen A, but he can still kind of be like, no, he'll sniff out the BS, right? So I've never had a problem with Jordan Schultz. I have met Ian Rappaport in person. And I have to say, it wasn't my favorite experience. I'm sure Ian Rappaport is a great person. I'm sure he's a great guy. I don't know him at all other than the 2 minutes I had with him. I'm sure if he's a family man, I'm sure his family loves him. I'm sure his friends love him. I know McAfee loves him. I know the NFL respects him. The league, I'm sure all these things are true. But in my experience with Ian Rappaport, I did not feel necessarily important. Let's go back to 2023. This is the Super Bowl. Eagles Chiefs in Scottsdale. I was 23 years old at the time, making no money, right? Just big-eyed sports media guy. Had an awesome opportunity to be a part of a team that was covering the Super Bowl in Scottsdale. Again, I'm just so happy to be there. Don't know where my career is going. Really anxious, really nervous. Going to do my best to meet as many people as possible, try to get as many contacts, advice. I'm not out here looking for a job. I'm out here looking for truth, knowledge, leadership. I'm just trying. I'm like a sponge, absorbing everything. At this same trip, when I was in Scottsdale for the Super Bowl, where I was going out with different like reporters and athletes and stuff for dinner, a total fly on the wall. By the way, I'm not managing any conversation. I'm like a laugh track, by the way. Like people laugh at a joke. I make sure we're all laughing and I go, that's right. Makes perfect sense. Yeah. I'm contributing nothing to conversation. I was not myself then because I didn't know. I didn't have the confidence. I was trying. I was nothing. I was literally a speck. I had no videos pop off. Nobody could recognize me from nothing. They're like, what's your most admirable quality? I'd probably tell you I'm a good friend. I had redeemable stuff I could take to the table. I hadn't mastered any impressions. I didn't think I was that funny. I just was there, just trying my best. I had a pretty tough interaction with Deebo Samuel, not because he's nice and he's kind. I just screwed it up. We're at a steakhouse in Scottsdale. This is the night that Kevin Durant was traded to Phoenix. That big blockbuster trade that was that night. It's probably around 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night. I'm at a steakhouse and I'm at the urinal. And I get a Woj bomb, right? I get a Woj bomb and Kevin Durant's been traded. And I love this stuff. So I'm like, whoa. I had nobody to tell because I'm urinal and I'm always like, I always love to be like my own Woj in the group chat. where it's like a Woj bomb happens, and I'm like, I gotta text the boys so I could be Woj in my own reality with my own friends who are probably sleeping or partying or doing really cool stuff while I'm just at home tweeting. Right. So, anyways, it happens. I'm out. Steakhouse, urinal, Woj bomb. Durant is now a Sun. I'm like, this is incredible. In the bathroom, coming out from around the corner of stalls, is Deebo Samuel. And I'm like, I mean, I'm the Niners just lost to Philly about 2 weeks prior, devastating loss, and I see him and I'm right away I'm fangirling so hard. I'm like, oh, hey, 19, what's good? Yeah, I dapped him up, Knuckles, because we're in the bathroom. We just want to be respectful, and we're only a couple years out of COVID, so you never know the boom elbow, this and that. I didn't want to give him a finger dap. I was just choking. I was just taking a leak. I was holding the hose. Well, Deebo, we walk around, wash hands, and he was like, it's good, and that's kind of it. So it's quiet. So it's me and Deebo Samuel. It's real quiet at the sink. It's a big sink. He's over here. I'm down here. And I'm not going to be like, slide over and wash my hands right next to him and be like, hi, how are you? But he's walking out. And I'm like, I got to say, I don't have anything more to say to him other than like, hey, we tried our best, blah, blah, blah. So it's been about 35 seconds, no talking, really long time washing hands. So I finally say, hey, you hear Durant just got traded? He goes, what? Like, he's leaving, opening the door. He's like, what? I was like, Kevin Durant just got traded to the Suns. Breaking news. Moments ago. Seconds ago. Yeah. And Deebo goes, I shit you not. He goes, all right. And leaves. All right. Nice. Oh. God, I mean, of all the things you could have said, how we think we'll be next year, and we're all rallying behind Purdy. Really, props to you guys. I mean, I know it hasn't been an easy season, but we're with you to the end. So much fun. Just a quick dap up. Nothing. Hey, Durant's a Sun now. Shut up. I will say, you'll never take this away from me. The first person that Deebo ever found out the news of Durant being a Sun was me. I broke the news to Deebo Samuel, not Woj. I told him, of course, whether it actually registered in his head, because he could have just heard me go, want, 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 want. He goes, all right. In fact, I might not have even been speaking English. In my head, I thought I said Durant is now a Sun, but I could have said, I'm sure maybe he was probably, I could have been having like a mini stroke. That's not the point of the story. I just want to tell you. The point of the story is I met Ian Rappaport at the Super Bowl, and it's one of the last days before we're taking off, and I've had a great week, except that Deebo moment, but it's still great because he was so nice, and I just fumbled. And I see Ian Rappaport. He was just on a set. And so in media, Radio Row at Super Bowl, it's just set after set after set after set. And so like every media table, they have a table, they have microphones, and everyone has their own little space that they record and do stuff. And so everyone's making media. It's awesome. If you're a media junkie, you got to get to Radio Row. It is just a media paradise. It is so epic. And so I'm just like, I'm just in there, just loving it. And it's the last day. In the NFL Network, some of the studios, the bigger studios, have bigger sets, right? So the NFL Network set is huge. And Ian Rappaport's just breaking some news about some coach getting fired, some new guy getting, right? Because it's right after the season ends. And so all these moves are happening. Where's Belichick going? And what's this and that? And so he's up there doing his thing. And he's a very important guy, right? He is got to, I mean, him and Schefter are NFL's leading correspondents of truth and transactions, right? Those are the Shams and Woj of the NFL, is Rappaport and Schefter, right? Well, he just did a bunch of shit, and now he's taking a break, and he's just chilling by himself, drinking a Starbucks. I remember specifically, he was having a Starbucks. All right. Aside from the story, 2 years removed, Starbucks incident happened. Whatever. He's drinking a Starbucks. He's chilling, just like right on like this little metal barricade like this. And I'm like, oh, yes, it's perfect. There's no, and everyone, you don't need guards. There's no one's a threat. Yeah, I go up to him. I'm like, hello, Mr. Rappaport. I'm Henry Markin. I just wanted to say, I think you're great. And I love what you do. And I told him one thing that he broke that I thought of at the time, and it's lost on me now. But I mentioned, I always like to compliment these guys, because I mean it, because they are so cool. I mean, that's what I thought. And he was like, thank you. Yes. But he was kind of like, I get to the point, right? But I don't know what to say. And I say, I listen, I don't have a lot. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm 23 years old. I'm trying to make it in media. Do you have any advice? Just something that I could just go home with, right? And he's already getting on his phone. I'm sure he's got some breaking news thing that just happened, right? You got a kid right in front of me who is asking nothing of it's something. Give me some advice. And I'm sure, people will be probably, well, you don't put yourself in his shoes. You're going to give him like best advice. This dude says, work hard. Walked away. I mean, it's not bad advice, but it's like, okay. Like, in what way? He's gone, right? By the way, I met Schefter that same week. Schefter, who has the same job, the same freaking thing. I met him, and I was like, Mr. Schefter, hello. I'm Henry Markin. And he goes, have we met? And I said, no, not a chance. And I was like, I'm nothing. There's no way we've met. This is my first time here. And he said, well, you're not nothing if you're here. Adam Schefter. Very down to earth, cool dude, respectful as hell, polite as hell, funny as hell. I'm a big Schefter fan. After that, I've looked at Schefter because I've always been like, this guy's really cool. You never know who someone really is. That guy had no business being that nice to me, and he was an awesome dude. That guy was sweet. Can't say that Rappaport was that nice when I met him. The rap sheet, as I call him. I'm sure he's a great guy. Probably has a lot of friends in the league. He wasn't my friend that day. I don't know. So if you ask me, who do I think is at fault between this Jordan Schultz and rap sheet little beef in the Starbucks? I see both sides. I can definitely see Jordan Schultz kind of come at him with the come at me bro energy, right? I didn't know Jordan Schultz was the son of former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz, and there's probably a little bit of a, well, my shit doesn't stink. Conflict doesn't matter to me. I'm going to meet it at the teeth, which is like, I'm not going to fault him. I'm not going to blame anybody for being the son of anybody. You have no control of who your father is. You're just here. Your dad and your mom had sex and now you're here. You have nothing to do with their life and what they've made of their life. Nobody's fault. I could just see how you could probably assume that someone like that is a snob. I never thought he was a snob. Now that I know Rappaport, I've had an interaction with him, he probably maybe belittled him once or twice. Not calling him out for anything specific, but in my experience, I didn't have the best interaction with the rap sheet. I didn't. Sure, he's a great guy. Sure, Matt McAfee loves him. Brings him onto his show all the time. That's great. I won't be bringing him on my show. Probably not. Okay. That's all I'm going to talk about today. We have some giveaways, folks. Almost forgot. Well, not really. It's just, there's a lot to think about. It's a tough job, guys. You have to understand. Okay. We have some winners. A couple contests happened, and obviously this is not the giveaway. This is not the cash giveaway. If you're watching now, this is not the $1,000 giveaway that happens on Monday. Again, reminder, Every Monday, we reveal the winner of the weekly cash giveaway. I hope nobody leaves now that you know that information. Doesn't look like anyone's dropped off the live chat because of that. Cool. My point is, we do have some winners of some contests that have been lingering on our shop. For example, a Deion Sanders autographed jersey raffle. We have a winner, and we have some winners of the Wunderfan merch giveaway. If you entered these raffles, I mean, unfortunately, I already have the names right here. So if you enter it right now, it's probably inactive, won't count. It's probably void. If you have entered before today, here we go. The moment you've been waiting for. Again, this is an autographed Deion Sanders jersey. We'll do that first. And then the Wunderfan merch giveaway. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to spin my wheel. Deion Sanders jersey. Oh. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's spinning. It's spinning. Hey! We have a winner. Brady Copeland. Oh, that's one of our ambassadors. Wow. That's pretty cool. Okay. Brady, you won. One of our ambassadors won the raffle. I don't know if we can do that. I'll have to find out. I'll use my best judgment. I'm sure we can make that work out fine. That's I spun the wheel, all the winners. I think that's insider trading. I don't know if we could give away. That's one of our own guys. That's our college ambassador of Florida State. I'm sorry, Brady. I don't think I can do it. I can't give it to you. Let's spin it again. Oh, this is painful. All right, a guy named Carter won. Wow. Carter Cleveland. Is that his name? That's the email we have. Carter, congratulations to Carter. You have won. Okay. Now let's do the Wunderfan merch giveaway. Okay. Spinning the wheel, spinning the wheel, spinning the wheel. Carlos. Someone named Carlos won. You won the Wunderfan merch raffle giveaway. I will contact both of you guys. Congratulations to Carter and Carlos, our two lucky winners of the day. Remember, folks, all those raffles, everything you see on the Wunderfan shop, the contest, you can enter as many times as you want. Congratulations to Carter and Carlos for winning the Deion Sanders signed autograph jersey. I'm not flipping you off. It's one. And winning Wunderfan merch, respectfully. Tune in on Monday for our big cash giveaway reveal. Like all Mondays going forward, if you enter, you can win on Monday. That's when I reveal. Have a great weekend, everybody. We will see you soon. See you on Monday.